Being diabetic means dealing with a lot of pricks of your finger, your finger. Anybody who's diagnosed with either type 1 or type 2 diabetes is given something new to carry around, their blood glucose meter. And it does pretty much what it sounds like. It measures the glucose, sugar, in your blood. And most people do this several times a day. The two most common times to test are first thing in the morning, after you haven't been eating for a long time, or about 2 hours after you've had a meal. So your blood sugar level will actually fluctuate throughout the day. It will go up after you eat, it might come down after you exercise. This is why it's really important to test at a consistent time so you can have an apples to apples comparison. It's not really possible to compare one measurement, say, taken 2 hours after you've eaten, with another measurement taken 1 hour after you've eaten. So the benchmarks that have been created as goals for people with diabetes have been developed around morning fasting, before you've had breakfast or anything with calories in it, and then also 2 hours after eating. It's not only important to test, but it's important to test and write things down so that you can share them with your doctor. Glucose monitors have become inexpensive, and that's a good thing. But what we need to remember is that both the meter and the test strips have a shelf life, and using them outside of that shelf life can give you inaccurate results. Now, the strips will have an expiration date on them, and they should never be used after the expiration date. You should always just go get new ones. The machines are expected to last for 1 or 2 years. I recently had a machine that I had had for 5 years, and when I finally replaced it and compared it to my new one, I realized that my old one was giving me readings that were up to 30 points higher than my new one. That's obviously not a good thing. Now, glucose meters will also ship with something called control solution. And inside of here is a solution that has a known amount of glucose in it. And when you run this instead of your blood on a test strip through your machine should read similar to what it says on the bottle. And if it doesn't, then you either need to calibrate your machine or simply get a new one. Inexpensive blood glucose meters have literally changed the game for people with diabetes. For people with type 1, they can much better and accurately take their insulin in response to what they've eaten, which avoids them maintaining a chronic high level. And for type 2, it helps us better understand what our bodies are doing. And by testing after we eat, we can identify foods that are either particularly bad or particularly good for our blood sugar level. All of this information that you can now learn is vitally important, but you can only get the benefits if you actually do the testing. So I know that checking your blood sugar is no fun, and most of us have other things we would much rather do. But keep it up. It's important.